Yo, it's Ruin here with another build for you. And no, it's not an armor build for Monster Hunter World, but an actual Sawhorse. So, stay and watch as I try my hand in ruining woodworking. See what I did there? Ruin? No? Yeah. Alright, to be honest, I wasn't planning on making a Sawhorse. I initially wanted to make a bed frame, but that didn't turn out so well. I was working with very limited tools. I didn't even have a circular saw at the time. I just had a handsaw. I didn't have a planer, just a regular planer, not the one you'll see here. So my cuts weren't great. It just didn't turn out so well. So I scrapped that idea and turned out my remaining wood, my other usable scrap wood, into a sawhorse instead. And here we are. Alright, as for the sawhorse itself, I was debating if I wanted 2, 3, or maybe even 4 legs. I know I want it to be portable and compact so I can easily put it away since, space is always a commodity. And when I was researching these online, pictures and whatnot, I saw a lot of them have these notches on the side for cutting, and I thought that's really cool, so I tried to incorporate that in my design. This build is relatively cheap. I think I only used two 2x4s that are 8 feet long. So in terms of wood investment, I think I only spent less than $10 for it. This is excluding the new tools, of course. I bought a new automated planer. I really love that tool. It's really cool. And I bought a new drill as well, because I have an old school drill that my dad used to own. Now I use it. It doesn't even hold charge anymore. I don't even know if they had or I tried looking if they have batteries for it, but it's such an old brand that they don't have it anymore. So I thought it was time to buy a new one. Alright, here I'm sketching out my final design for the Sawhorse. As you can see, I tried to incorporate the notch, the cutting notch. I saw in a lot of my research. I thought it was cool, so I added it in there. As well as I opted for 2 legs instead of the typical 4 or the more unique 3 you see around. I chose 2 because I want it to be portable, so these legs are detachable. As for the length of the thing, I went with around 3 feet, 36 inches. And the height, I chose 32 inches because when I was measuring it, my palm rest on the surface roughly around 32, 33 inches. So I thought that was a perfect height. After I did the rough cuts on the 2x4s, I took out my automated planer, which I really like, by the way. This thing is a really cool tool. Should have gotten this before. Anyways, I took them out, I planed it, because I don't really like the rounded edges on 2x4s. So I did that on all of the woods before doing final cuts. Did you like my pen holster? Custom made. Here you'll see me making some measurements because I'll be hollowing out a part of the top part of the sawhorse so I could insert this other 2x4, sort of making a T, a long T. A little bit of a test fit. Does it fit? Yes, it does. And next I'll be making the notch. This is so that when you cut something, you have space for the saw. Afterwards, I work on the legs. I try to center this and I build a notch that can attach to the top part of the sawhorse. Either use an actual handsaw or make things easier, you can use a circular saw. Here you'll see me clear out the notch using the circular saw by moving it from side to side. That's relatively unsafe. I suggest you guys not do that. Either use a chisel or a router if you have. But hey, I made quick work of it. But yeah, don't do that. And here I made another test fit, and it's not bad at all. Next we move on to the bottom part of the legs. I try to make a half lap. Is this a half lap joint? Lap joint. This is where I'm gonna attach the feet. And here we see my new drill making its debut appearance. Looking back, I think the next sawhorse that I make, I'm gonna switch out to a dowel instead of using screws. I think it just looks much better aesthetically if it's all wood. Just a bit of a cleanup here, just making sure the feet are all flat and leveled. So I did a little pass through with my automated planer. One final check, and away we go. And here we have the final result. We have the notch here for cutting wood or any other things, and it's relatively stable. I say relatively because I'll explain here in a minute. Although it's very stable, removing it forwards and backwards, side to side, it tends to wobble. I was relying too much on the precision of my joinery cuts. Well, guess what? With my skill level and my new tools, it didn't work out so well. So it was wobbly. Here you can see me actually detach the legs. Just in case you're done with your project, you can stash it in a closet or behind a door or somewhere. And you can even remove the top part of the sawhorse, so you're left with this horizontal beam. Just to change things up, you know? Looking back on this project, a couple things I'd change. One, be more precise with my cuts and in my joinery, because it's pretty crucial in this kind of things. Or I could actually drill some holes and add some dowels into it. That'll keep it relatively stable. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna go back and do that. Probably drill 1/2 inch dowels, glue on one side of the joinery, and just drill a reciprocating hole on the other side. That'll definitely make this thing very stable. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I know it's not Monster Hunter related, but it is a build. I think I'm gonna keep doing this actually. Something along the lines of last week I built something, or last week I made this. Alright, see you guys later. Ruin out.